So now you have built your tower and you're wondering, how do I install Windows and the drivers? That I will show you today. The first thing you need is another PC if you don't have the official Windows 10 USB key. So you have to create your own. Just Google for Windows installation media and you will find the media creation tool, and from there you can create a bootable USB. You need at least an 8 gig USB drive. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do now is to plug in our USB drive to one of the USB ports on our case. And let's start our PC and tap the delete button on your keyboard. So now we are in the BIOS, and as we can see right here, our boot priority is set to our M.2. We don't want that, we want it to boot from our USB drive. So we're gonna switch the M.2 goes down to the bottom and press F10 for save and exit and press OK. And now it will boot directly to the Windows install. So now we are in our Windows install. Just choose your language, your time and currency, and your keyboard. And click next. Install now. So here you're going to enter your product key, but we don't have one now, so let's press I don't have a product key, which is down here. And I forgot to mention to do this with no internet connection to the computer at all. So now we're going to choose which version of Windows 10 we want. I'm going with Windows 10 Pro and click next. So here we have the license terms, which we of course have read. So just accept and click next. Now you see upgrade or custom. You want to choose custom. And here you can see our two drives. So this one I will, so one of the hard drives had data on it, so I'm just going to format. And then delete the partition. And you can see the size of your hard drives or SSDs or whatever you're using. So you can see the total size you have of your hard drives and SSDs. So this is a 1 terabyte drive. It registers at 931 gigabytes. And that is actually a game drive, so I won't be using that. I will, however, go down to drive 1, which is our 240 gigabyte M.2 SSD. And you want this to be unallocated space, otherwise the Windows install can spit out some errors. and just click next, or and now we will let the installation do its thing, and I'll see you guys when it's done. So when the PC gets rebooted, you can remove your USB drive, and now it will just get everything ready. So why I am doing this without internet connection is because I only want to create a local account. I don't want to be forced to using my Microsoft account. Now let's start with the last steps of the installation. Yeah, we're totally in United Kingdom. So just select your keyboard layout. And if you want to add a second keyboard layout, just press add layout and just take something here. Let's take that one. And now it's trying to force you to connect to the internet, so just go down to the bottom here and press I don't have internet. And then continue with the limited setup. So who is going to use this PC is Porky. And password 1. Security questions 103. Name the first school you attended. Jedi Academy. And 2 out of 3. What is the name of the city you were born? Tatooine. What was your childhood nickname? Blah blah. Blah blah blah. So now we come to privacy settings. I want to just give them the big finger and just do no, 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 no. We want nothing of this. And click accept. And here, just press no. Just press no or not now to whatever comes up. And now it's getting everything ready for us. This might take several minutes, so I see you guys when this part is done. So now we're into Windows and we can plug it into the internet. Networks. Do you want this allowed to be discovered by the PCs and devices on this network? Yeah. And now we want to do some updates. So we're going into check for updates. And check for updates and see. So now we have a lot of updates, and let me scroll down so you can see the entire list. So I'm gonna let this do its thing, and it might reboot a couple of times, and just be patient and download and install every update you get, and then I'll see you guys when it's done. So now our restart is done, so let's log in here and continue. So you're gonna start Microsoft Edge. The only thing that is good for is to download Google Chrome. Just download it and press run. And now it's going to download the Chrome. And install it. Now with Chrome installed and open, we want to download the latest drivers. So I'm going to start with AMDs for our graphics card. So here we have the start page for AMD, and just go to drivers and support. Select graphics cards, and we're gonna find our GPU here and click submit, and then in Windows 10, and just take the recommended driver, click download, and now it will be downloaded. So now it's downloaded, so let's open it. And just click yes. Click install. And I will extract everything before it starts with the actual install. And now we just want to install the drivers and do a factory reset at the same time. And click install. And the screen might, or the screen will flicker a couple of times and then do a restart. So let's just wait for the installation to be completed. And the installation is done. Our system will restart in 1 minute, and we're just gonna press restart now. We're going to restart it. So now we are restarted, and let's just log in. And it will continue. So now our installation is done. We're gonna hit restart again. So now we have once again rebooted, so let's just log in. So now let's go over to display settings and have a look. This is a 4K monitor I'm using, so the resolution is 4K, so you want to check if your monitor is running at its native resolution. Then tap Advanced Display Settings, and there go to Display Adapter Properties for display 1, and tap Monitor, and then you want to choose your refresh rate to see if it's your monitor's refresh rate that is activated. This one is only 60 Hz, so it's running at that. Just press OK. And now let's go into Disk Manager. So as you can see here in Disk Management, you can see that our secondary hard drive is blacked out, which means that it is unallocated space or unusable space. So you just want to right click, New Simple Volume, and just hit Next, and Next, and assign a drive letter. I'm gonna stick with the D, and click Next, and then format the drive, use NTFS, default. You can call this whatever you like. Let's call this Game Drive, and click Next, finish, and it's formatting, and now it's done. And now, what we want to do now is to go over to the Start menu, press Power, hold down Shift while you're pressing Restart. That will boot into troubleshooting mode, and from there you can boot directly to your BIOS. So from here we want to go Troubleshoot, Advanced Options, and then UEFI Firmware Settings. Just press that and press Restart, and it will boot into your BIOS right away without you having to tap the delete button. So here we are. We are going to advanced mode. Just press F7. And here we have AI Tweaker. So if you bought let's say 3000 megahertz RAM, it won't run at those speeds out of the box. So on ASUS you go to AI Overclock Tuner and press DOCP Standard, and then it will go to its rated XMP settings. It's different naming for each motherboard, so ASUS have DOCP, Gigabyte have XMP, and Messiah has AXMP. So now let's go over to Exit, Save Changes and Reset, and press OK. And now if it's successful it will boot, otherwise it will just boot loop like 5 times and then it will just say overclocking failed, but ours is booting just fine. So now Windows is installed and the drivers are updated and it's ready to go. So now I will just install our benchmarks and some games and see how this thing performs. So I'll see you guys when it's done. So now all of our benchmarks is installed on all our games. So let's move to the sliders and see how it performs. I will test it both in stock config and overclocked, so let's roll the benchmarks. So now our benchmarks is done, and it was a bit underwhelming in some titles, but with some tweaking in the settings we can get a better performance. I just standardly tested at high, so maybe put some settings at medium might help, but I think for $160 which I paid for this entire machine is pretty awesome. So you have the newer architectures. So this motherboard has support for Ryzen 3rd Gen. So just pop a 3300X in there. Might help it a lot. And the GPU might need change at some point, but it is running very well as it is now. So there is actually not everyone can get this or the parts for the price that I paid for them, which I was lucky, I guess. And here's a tip for you when you're shopping on Facebook Marketplace or wherever it is. Just see how long it has been listed for. That might help because they want to sell it, and if it has been listed there for quite a while, like say 1 month, 2 months, then you can do some really good haggling. So if you like this video, you know what to do. Please press the like button, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this. I have a lot more planned. So thanks for watching. Bye.